Stop chasing viral AI startups and volatile crypto bubbles that vanish overnight. While the world distracts itself with flashy trends, a quiet group of millionaires is getting rich off trash, laundry, and storage units. These unglamorous industries dominate the market by solving boring problems that never go away, proving that the less hype a business has, the more profit it actually holds. That sounds almost insulting, right? Like, who dreams about owning a laundromat? Nobody puts storage unit tycoon on their vision board. But stick with me for the next few minutes, because by the end of this video, you're going to look at boring completely differently. You're going to start seeing dollar signs in places you used to just walk past. Let's talk about 2026 for a second, because right now, as you're watching this, there is a graveyard forming. A graveyard of AI startups that raised millions, hired teams, built beautiful pitch decks, and are quietly shutting their doors. You don't hear about most of them. Nobody makes a headline out of small AI wrapper app dies quietly, but it's happening over and over again on a scale most people don't realize. Here's why. When ChatGPT and the big foundation models exploded, everybody and their cousin built an app powered by AI. A journaling app with AI, a resume builder with AI, a dating app with AI. And for a hot minute, that felt like magic. People downloaded these apps out of curiosity. They tried them once, and then most of them just disappeared into a folder they never opened again. That's the problem with hype-driven business. It's built on curiosity, not necessity. And curiosity is cheap. It costs nothing for a customer to leave. There's no friction, no penalty, no real reason to stay loyal. One update from a competitor, one new shiny app in the App Store, and your entire customer base can vanish in a weekend. Founders call this low switching cost. And it's quietly the reason so many of these ventures burn bright and die fast. Same story with viral product drops. Somebody creates a gadget or a fidget toy or a weird kitchen tool that blows up on TikTok. Sales spike overnight, everyone's celebrating, champagne's popping. And then 3 months later, the algorithms moved on, 5 competitors are selling the exact same thing for less, and the whole business model has quietly collapsed. It's not that these people are dumb. It's that they built a house on a wave instead of on ground. Even the founders who win in these spaces, they don't actually get to relax. Ever. Because the moment you're living off attention, you have to keep feeding the algorithm. New product, new trend, new viral moment, over and over, forever. It's exhausting. It's a treadmill that never turns off. You can be making incredible money on paper and still feel like you're one bad month away from irrelevance. Now compare that to owning something the world simply physically requires. Not something people find exciting. Something they need, whether they're excited about it or not. Nobody wakes up hyped to do laundry. Nobody's dreaming about their trash getting picked up. Nobody's posting on Instagram about their storage unit. But every single one of those things has to happen every single week, in every single city forever. There's no version of the future where humans stop generating garbage, stop needing clean clothes, or stop accumulating more stuff than their apartment can hold. That's not a trend. That's just life. And that's exactly why quiet operators, people running trash companies, coin laundromats, and self-storage facilities keep getting wealthy while nobody's watching. They're not competing for attention. They're competing on reliability, which, ironically, is a much easier game to win because almost nobody else wants to play it. There's a psychological shift that happens when you stop chasing trends and start owning infrastructure. It's honestly kind of freeing. You stop checking analytics every 5 minutes, wondering if today's the day the algorithm turns on you. You stop needing a new idea every quarter just to stay relevant. Instead, you're thinking in decades. You're thinking, how many machines can I add? Or how many more units can I build? Not what's the next viral hook. So let's actually walk into one of these industries and see what that looks like in practice. Let's talk about commercial laundry. Picture a small strip mall. You've probably driven past 100 of them without a second thought. Nail salon, phone repair shop, and tucked in the corner. A laundromat with flickering fluorescent lights and machines that look like they're from the 90s. Most people glance at that place and think, that's just a laundromat. What they don't see is the math happening behind those glass doors. A single washing machine, running multiple loads a day at $4 or $5 a load, adds up fast. Now multiply that by 20, 30, 40 machines in one location. Now factor in that the overhead is shockingly low once the equipment's paid off, because you don't need a huge staff, you don't need constant restocking, you don't need to reinvent the business every month. The machines just run. Customers just come. Because clothes get dirty whether the economy's booming or crashing. That's the magic of it. A laundromat doesn't care if there's a recession. It doesn't care if interest rates went up. People still need clean clothes for work, for job interviews, for their kids' school uniforms. Demand doesn't disappear, it just quietly, reliably continues. Many of the most profitable laundromats aren't even walk-in businesses anymore. They're contracts. Apartment complexes, hotels, gyms, hospitals. They all need laundry services running in the background, constantly, and they'll happily sign long-term deals with whoever can guarantee the machines never break down. That's not glamorous work, but it's the kind of income that shows up in your account every single month like clockwork, without you having to convince a single stranger on the internet that your product is cool. Compare that for a second to the poor founder who spent the last 6 months trying to make a TikTok trend out of their app. One of them is sleeping well. The other one is refreshing analytics at 2 a.m. Now, laundry is just one piece of this puzzle. The same exact logic applies to waste management, to storage units, to vending routes, to vehicle repair, to pest control. All of it. These are what people in the business world sometimes call boring but bulletproof industries. And the pattern across all of them is almost identical. Low glamour, high necessity, painfully low competition because most entrepreneurs are too busy chasing the next shiny thing to even consider them. Let's take trash for a second because this one genuinely surprises people. Waste management at the local level is one of the most quietly dominant business models that exists. Once a hauling company locks in a route, a neighborhood, a set of commercial contracts, it becomes incredibly difficult and expensive for a customer to switch providers. You'd have to research alternatives, cancel your current contract, coordinate a new pickup schedule. Most people and most businesses just don't bother. So loyalty isn't earned through marketing. It's earned through pure operational inertia. And once you own the trucks and the routes, you're basically running a toll booth on a service nobody can opt out of. Storage units follow the same script but from a different angle. People downsize, move, inherit stuff, start businesses, get divorced. Life happens and life produces more stuff than closets can hold. A storage facility doesn't need a sales team hustling for new customers every day. It needs walls, gates, and decent security. Once units are filled, most people don't move their stuff out for years, sometimes decades, because the mental effort of sorting through it all is worse than just paying the monthly fee. That's not a flaw in human behavior a storage owner is exploiting maliciously, it's just reality. And reality is incredibly good for recurring revenue. Here's the pattern tying all of this together so you really lock it in. Boring businesses solve problems that are constant, not trendy. They rely on infrastructure and repetition, not virality and attention. Their customers stick around not because they're obsessed with the brand, but because switching is annoying and unnecessary. And because almost nobody wants to run these businesses, competition stays thin, which means margins stay healthy for the people who actually show up and do the unsexy work. This is why so many self-made millionaires you'll never hear about, no podcast interviews, no motivational Instagram reels, are quietly running 2 or 3 unglamorous businesses in the background while the internet obsesses over the next AI unicorn. They're not smarter than everyone else. They just figured out something most people overlook. Attention is not the same thing as value. You can have 1,000,000 eyes on your business and still go broke, or you can have 0 eyes on your business, machines nobody thinks twice about, and build real, compounding wealth, quietly, year after year. So here's what I want you to take from this. The next time you drive past a laundromat, a storage facility, or a garbage truck making its rounds, I want a different thought to cross your mind. Not boring. Instead, ask yourself, what problem is this solving that will never, ever go away? Because that question, more than any trend report or hype cycle, is where real, lasting wealth quietly gets built. If this shifted how you think about business, stick around, because next up, we're breaking down exactly how someone starting with next to nothing can actually get a foot in the door on one of these boring, bulletproof industries step by step. You don't need to be first to a trend. You just need to be the person who shows up, does the unglamorous work, and owns the thing everyone else is too distracted to notice.